When I was younger, one of my favorite things to do was to boot up Minecraft on my brother's Xbox 360, fly around until I found a village, and then do one of either two things. I would either destroy it with fire and TNT, or I would spend hours building castles around it and transforming it into my own personal kingdom, only to then destroy it with TNT. Anyways, the point I'm getting at is that I love the pre-1.14 villages. They just have this uniquely Minecrafty charm that I don't really get from the current villages. And whilst I'm not one of those people who insist that the older versions of Minecraft are superior to the current versions, I definitely prefer the style and charm the older villages had before the Village and Pillage update went and polished them into the ones we have now. And that sentiment, to an extent, applies to the game in its entirety. But that's not what this video is about. Instead of following the bandwagon of people incessantly complaining about Mojang and the current state of Minecraft and its updates, I want to show a personal project of mine that I've been working on for a few weeks now, and is one that I believe is in a polished enough state to show off to you guys and release to the public. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the first devlog of my brand new Minecraft resource pack, Villagelings. Before I start showing off this resource pack, I do want to make it clear at the beginning that I did develop this for Bedrock Edition, so if you are hoping that this was a Java Edition resource pack, I guess you can just click off now. I will say I am also using a few other texture packs that just make the game look like the old Xbox 360 edition of Minecraft, so if you want to download any of these, then I'll put the links for them in the description below, and you can download them alongside Villagelings if you're interested in it. Okay, so basically the whole point of this resource pack is to essentially turn vanilla Minecraft survival into more of like a town building game, and the way I did that is by retexturing and remodeling the armor stands into these villageling houses. And basically what these allow you to do is to take a block like a crafting table or a furnace, for example, and you can place it down, and then you can place the villageling house on top of it, and it transforms it into... So basically what you can do is, in survival, you can craft armor stands, which are villageling houses, and then you can place them on top of functional blocks like crafting tables or furnaces, and it transforms them into the houses. But of course, this is just one type of house, which is why if you crouch and pose the armor stand, it'll transform into one of 10 different village houses. So for example, we have the farmer cabin here, but we also have this house, but with a fence on top. We have the old library house, we have the butcher house, we have the large L house, we have a blacksmith, and we have the church. And you may notice that the church has a little bit of clipping issues, and that's because the church is specifically designed to be placed on top of a brewing stand. And the church is the only one that is sort of specifically designed for one specific block. The rest of them are meant so that basically, instead of building a base where you have furnaces and chests everywhere, you can build a giant village where you have your functional blocks act as the houses. So basically, the point of this resource pack is that instead of building a base, like a house or something, you can just place all of your functional blocks on the ground, and then you can place armor stands on top of them, which let you interact with the houses like they're the blocks. And then what you can do is, you can grab gravel, and you can build little paths that connect all the houses. So instead of building a giant base, you can build a giant kingdom. Which is why I say that it's kind of like a town building game. But of course, what's the point of having a kingdom if you don't have people to live in it? Which is why I turned chickens into villagelings. So here's the Villagelings. They're just tiny little villagers. And I made sure that they have the same pixel consistency as like the blocks. Same thing for the houses. I really appreciate it when mobs in this game have pixel consistency, because it just makes the game look more consistent. But depending on what type of chicken you have, the Villagelings will look different. So for example, the temperate chickens will have the farmer profession. The warm chickens will have the cleric profession, and the cold chickens will have the librarian profession. And I just retextured the eggs into being like baby Villagelings. And you can kind of just throw them on the ground and spawn in different kinds of chickens. So like for example, you can see it on his coat that's a cleric. Or if I spawn in a cold chicken, it'll be a librarian. But of course, villages do have more than just houses. They also have lampposts and wells and farms. So I specifically made it so that your bed would be the well, because the well is supposed to be like the town center, and I wanted to make it so that you always come back to the town center when you want to skip the night. So if you make a white bed, it'll become a villageling well, which you can set your spawn point at or sleep. And if you make a black bed, it'll actually become a farm. And of course, the torches are the old lampposts. Now unfortunately, due to the limitations of Bedrock resource packs, I couldn't change the torch's model, and because I wanted to maintain pixel consistency, I couldn't texture the torch onto the lamppost, but it is essentially just a recreation of the old village lampposts, which were just 3 fence posts stacked on top of each other with a piece of black wool on it that was also covered in torches. Now it's not quite as tall as those lampposts, as everything in this pack is meant to be a 1/4 scale. And if there were any light blocks that I could change the model of, I definitely would do that. And if you have any ideas on how to change the models of like a torch or a lantern or a candle or anything, definitely let me know in the comments. I also sort of made a few other blocks, like mini, I guess. So if I grab some bone meal here and I place it down, you'll see that I made all the grass significantly shorter so that it fits in with the scale of the houses, but I also made the 2 classic flowers quite a bit smaller as well, if I could get them to plant. So as you can see here, we have a little rose, which is just named a poppy still, but I can change that. But if I could get a dandelion to spawn, there you can see a dandelion. I also retextured the saplings to look more like tiny oak trees. So you can just plant saplings around and they will act as your trees. But of course, they will grow up eventually, which is why you can just put string on top of them, which will prevent them from growing, and you can't really see the string too much. And if you're using this resource pack in creative, you can just use like barrier blocks or something. Also, of course, since the villagelings are chickens, you can kill them, which gives you villageling corpse, which I just think is a really funny texture. If I grab myself an item frame to show it off real quick. I'm a big fan of the way that it's just sort of dead and ragdolled. But you can also cook the villageling. which will give you cooked chicken, which is obviously renamed to cooked villageling. But yeah, that's pretty much all that this pack has so far. You can just build houses, you can build roads, you can build trees, and you can use eggs and seeds to, you know, make an army of villagelings. So with that being said, I'm gonna end off this devlog by just asking if you have any suggestions for this resource pack to please leave them down in the comments below, whether it be like suggestions for houses or structures I can make, or like how to do certain things like remodeling the light blocks like I wanted to do, or if you just have a better name for this pack than Villagelings, which to be fair I do really like the name Villagelings, but if you can come up with something more clever, I'd love to hear it. Anyways, thank you for watching if you made it this far, and if you're coming from my Build-A-Boat videos, I will make more of those soon. And if you want me to make more devlogs for Villagelings, just let me know, and like and subscribe.